if you have to start something, you must first identify yourself as that person. Only then the action would follow. It's not exactly like fake till you make it, but still you yourself should see yourself as the person in your mind before the world starts seeing you. Yo guys, namaskaram. So, Dastak is a platform where we talk on mental health and a lot of other sensitive issues, right? So, basically, the entire aim of this channel is to build a community around sensitive issues and make people feel comfortable about themselves. So, basically, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Our mission is to empower you with ideas to live smartly and joyfully. The world is full of suffering, but let us increase our competence to deal with things joyfully. And just a tip, so all these are basically conversations, so I might suggest that you should watch these conversations at 1.5x. You can increase the playback speed through the button in the settings. Cheers and enjoy watching. यो गाइस नमस्कारम. सो आज हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे स्टील लाइक एन आर्टिस्ट पार्ट 2, और आई मीट से चैप्टर 2. ठीक है, तो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग आई वुड जस्ट लाइक टू स्टार्ट विद दिस कोट फ्रॉम विलियम शेक्सपियर. ही सेज दैट all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So basically, as you might have seen in the title, that don't wait until you know who you are to get started. So one of the reasons that many of us don't start is because we keep on waiting to just know ourselves कि ठीक है, जब मेरे को अपने बारे में ये XYZ चीज़ें पता होंगी तब मैं शुरू करूँगा. Instead, the creative process works on an opposite trajectory. What that basically means is that the more you do, or let's say the more you put out stuff, the more you would know about yourself कि ठीक है, मेरे को इस टाइप की चीज़ में जाना है, इस टाइप की चीज़ में नहीं जाना है. So there's a very beautiful hack which I think James Clear, the author from Atomic Habit, talks about, that if you have to start something, you must first identify yourself as that person. Only then the action would follow. It's not exactly like fake till you make it, but still you yourself should see yourself as the person in your mind before the world starts seeing you that way. So let's say अगर आपको एक musician बनना है, या let's say एक writer बनना है, so before even like putting out stuff, you must identify yourself with that specific thing कि ठीक है, मैं आज से ये हूँ. And then you'll see that automatically you'll start taking actions. It's not that uh like you would just wait and wait and wait, and then some divine message or some divine calling would come. That is now not how it usually works. So Glenn O'Brien says that you start as a phony and become real. So in the above quote which I said, like all the world's a stage. So there are different stages in life wherein you're required to make different choices, and the same is true with any creative work. Like it's a kind of a theater where you just have to play your act out, or just figure the act out on the way. So the stage can be your studio, your desk, or your workstation. The costume can be your tool, your outfit, your painting pants, or your business suit, or anything for that matter. So Yohiji Yamamoto says that start copying what you love. Copy, 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 copy. At the end of the copy, you'll find yourself. So, nobody is born with a style or a voice. We don't come out of the womb knowing who we are in the beginning. We learn by pretending to be our heroes. We learn by copying. So we are talking about practice here, right? As I might have cleared it in my previous video, not plagiarism. Plagiarism is like trying to pass someone else's work as your own. Copying is about reverse engineering. It's like a mechanic taking apart a car to see how it works. So there's a very beautiful analogy, I think, which I had read somewhere, or maybe in this book only, that जैसे कार मैकेनिक होता है, लेट्स से अगर किसी की गाड़ी खराब है तो एक कार मैकेनिक के पास वो जाता है, तो कार मैकेनिक सर्टेन सिचुएशन स्टिमुलेशंस लगाता है कि ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, बट स्टिल ही काइंड ऑफ स्टडीज द कार आउट. बट वो स्टिमुलेशन उसे कहाँ से पता लगी? बिकॉज ऑफ हिज प्रीवियस वर्क एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डूइंग दैट थिंग. लाइक ही हैड ऑल्सो कॉपीड फ्रॉम सम अदर मास्टर्स की ठीक है इस तरह से गाड़ी बनती है. लाइक ही got to know about how that thing was made, right? So even the Beatles, so there was this famous rock band called the Beatles. So they started as a cover band. So उनका एक बहुत famous इंसान है Paul McCartney. He had said that I emulated Buddy Holly, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis. We all did. Then he and I think John Lennon and the entire band kind of went on to become one of the greatest bands. They're still heard by a lot of people, and many of the musicians still take their inspiration from them. So the aim here should be like, you should not just steal the style, start stealing the thinking behind the style. Like क्या सोच के उस इंसान ने वो चीज़ बनाई है, कोई उसने और ऑल्टरनेटिव क्यों नहीं लिया. द एम हियर इज टू काइंड ऑफ एम्बेड द थिंकिंग. सो कॉपी all the way till you would internalize their way of looking at the world. So if you just mimic at the surface of somebody's work without understanding where they are coming from, your work would lack depth, and you will also give up at the first sight of challenges. So like being in a collectivist culture, I feel that we all have like this imposter syndrome in us, which basically means that it's a psychological phenomena in which people are unable to internalize their accomplishments. So no one knows what they're doing, to be frankly speaking. They're just doing it for being in the moment, when they just lose sense of everything and just are totally involved in that thing. So if we ask anybody who is doing truly creative work, they would tell us the truth that, like, they don't know where the good stuff comes from. They just show up every day to do their thing. So the act of making things and doing our work so that we figure out who we are is the most important one that you'll ever do in your life. You're just ready, start making that stuff. So I would just like to give you one quote from Francis Ford Coppola. He says that we want you to take from us, we want you at first to steal from us because you can't steal. You will take what we give you and you will put in your own voice, and that's how you will find your voice. And that's how you begin, and then one day someone will steal from you. So there's a subtle difference here between imitation and emulation. So imitation is you're just ripping off their work, and emulation is you're trying to go deeper and like understand. Okay, if he's doing this, okay, I'll rip it off, but I'll still understand what how this person has arrived to this specific thing, and of course I'll give kind of due credits if that's the case. So I would like to just end with the story of Kobe Bryant. So he's a famous basketball player, so it would help you to understand this subtle difference. So he said that, like, there isn't a move that's a new move. So the basketball star Kobe Bryant has admitted that all of his moves on the court were stolen from watching tapes of his heroes. But initially, when, like, he started copying these moves, he realized that his body style was not fit for those moves. So he adjusted those moves as per his own body style. And today we see, oh, how of a wonderful basketball player he is. So, like, a wonderful flaw about human beings is that we are incapable of making perfect copies. Our failure to copy our heroes is where we discover where our own thing lives. That is how we evolve. Adding something to the world that only you can add, and that comes when you respect the work mode. So I would like to end with this quote from Kobe Bryant, in which he says that I have stolen all these moves from all these great players. I just try to do them proud. The guys who came before, because I learned so much from them. It's all in the name of the game. It's a lot bigger than me. So, yeah, I think an ending thought here would be specifically that the more you kind of respect the work would kind of respect you more in that way. And like, just do the art, just start making that thing, making that thing you love, or like just start emulating those artists, or like just start being that musician or being that writer which you have always been procrastinating. So yeah, that's a small video. Let me know what you feel about it. And yeah, this is Debu Pindra signing off from Debukidastak.